people are very, very upset. Charlie was very well loved inside the Republican Party, inside the Republican community, and this is just a tragic. I'm upset that I had to see the video on X because it's disgusting what happened to him today.
We can talk now to Hal Lambert. He is a Republican mega donor and a former advisor to Republican Senator Ted Cruz. He served on the inaugural committee for President Trump and has known Charlie Kirk for many years. Good evening to you, Hal.
Good to talk to you.
Well, just give us, first of all, your reaction to the news of Charlie Kirk's death tonight.
It made me sick to my stomach. I met Charlie in 2015. I've known him for 10 years. We were friends. I met him, he was 21 years old, and he was starting up his political organization to really bring young people into the political fold. And he was doing an amazing job. It created an amazing organization, amazing person, just really kind. There's videos of he and his family out there now. He had 2 little kids, toddlers, and a beautiful wife. And it's just a tragic, horrible thing that's happened.
I mean, of course, this happened just as he was addressing students on a campus. For people here in the UK who may not have known too much about him, just explain why he was so important to the Republican movement, to the MAGA movement in particular.
Well, he was important for a number of reasons. He was very knowledgeable of the issues. He was very articulate, and he was the same age as the college students when he first started his organization. So he could relate to them, and he was still very young. And as was just stated, I mean, that generation voted Republican this last time. And so it was clearly having an effect. He was just at Oxford not too long ago, debating there at Oxford. And his views, quite frankly, in my opinion, were mainstream Republican views. And he wasn't afraid to back down or afraid and to not back down to the radical left. And, this is a problem with the left, quite frankly. They did to Charlie Kirk what they tried to do to President Trump. And with a miracle, they did not succeed with President Trump. But this is not new. I mean,
well, we should say that at the moment, of course, I mean, we don't know who was responsible. There is still, as I understand it, a hunt continuing at the scene for whoever was responsible for this shooting. And I should just point out that Barack Obama, former Democrat president, of course, condemned the fatal shooting of Charlie Kirk as an act of despicable violence. There's also been condemnation from Joe Biden, the former president, who said that there's no place in our country for this kind of violence.
Yep, those two said that. Others like Governor Pritzker, who wants to run for president out of Illinois, I think his comments were atrocious, basically saying that, words can cause violence, and that, he, in effect, in my opinion, tried to point the finger back at Charlie Kirk. There was a commentator on MSNBC that did the same thing. So this is a problem. You don't see this, quite frankly, happening from the right. You have this problem with the left. They tried to assassinate 2 Supreme Court justices before the Roe v. Wade decision, nominated by Republicans. That they're not able to win the battle of minds with debate.
Do you not fear, Hal, that this is perhaps
this is true, but I can guarantee you it was someone from the left, 100%.
Do you not think, though, that there is perhaps a deeper problem here? About political violence and the scale and the depth of the divisions that there are within U.S. politics.
And who's the one committing the violence? You had Antifa and BLM destroy cities because they were politically motivated to do so. The Republicans aren't going out and destroying cities. I mean, this is a problem on the left. And anytime something happens, I'm sure we're going to hear people talk about gun control or some sort of nonsense like that. This is not a gun issue. This is a left issue. This does not happen from the right.
Well, you say it's not a gun issue. And of course, Charlie Kirk is someone who is a very strong supporter of the right of Americans to bear arms. And it is a very different situation there in the United States than it is here in the United Kingdom. But do you not think that there could be an element of the fact that it is remarkably easy to get hold of a gun in the United States? Is that not a factor in this?
No, it's not a factor in this. It's a factor of political violence. It's a factor of gang violence. If you look at the killings that happen in the United States by guns, it is a majority by 80%. Democrat cities, gang violence. If it's a problem with guns, it's a problem with guns and Democrats. It's a problem with guns and the left. It's not a problem with Republicans. It's just not. And until we start really recognizing that's the problem, we're not going to get anywhere. And the data doesn't lie. Data's there. You can see it. You can look at it. And I'm not giving up my guns because they can't control the streets of Chicago because they want to let everybody out of jail. Okay.
Well, of course, this comes as President Trump has ordered some, for example, troops onto the streets of Washington itself and other cities in order to try to control the crime. I'm interested that he's ordered that flags across the US should be flown at half-mast in honour of Charlie Kirk. Is that perhaps a sign that the president himself sees Charlie Kirk as someone who was hugely important to what he stands for?
He was massively important. Charlie was a supporter of President Trump in 2016, in 2020, in 2024, and he led an amazing movement of young people. And it was all about simply giving the other side at college campuses. Our college campuses in the United States have been hijacked by the far left. Many of the professors, if not the vast majority, are Marxist, openly Marxist. Okay, they have a hatred for the country. He was simply there trying to give the other side because they don't get it in college. They just don't get the other side. In fact, if they write about it or say something differently, their grades are going to suffer. That's what his movement was about, was trying to get young people the other side of the story. And he did an amazing job. And so he was very important. He was at President Trump's side in many, many instances across the country during the campaign. His organization was very instrumental in getting the youth vote out. He was just an amazing person. And he didn't do it with hate. He didn't, people try to say, I saw someone on, the news today saying, hateful speech leads to hateful thought leads to hateful speech, which ends up with hateful actions. Again, as though speech is somehow the reason for this to happen. This can't be happening because someone disagrees with a political view. And that's what this is about. And, I don't know what's going to happen now, but people are very, very upset. Charlie was very well loved inside the Republican Party, inside the Republican community. And this is just a tragic. I'm upset that I had to see the video on X because it's disgusting what happened to him today.
And I'm sure that everyone listening will be shocked wherever they are on the political divide at political violence, which has taken a very young life. Hal Lambert, mega donor to the Republican Party, former big advisor to President Trump. Thank you very much indeed for joining us tonight.
Thank you.
Let me just bring you some reaction from the Conservative leader, Kemi Badenoch. She has posted on X, "There are no words good enough to express the horror of this. The killing of Charlie Kirk is a blow to everything Western civilization stands for," Kemi Badenoch tweeted. "Open discourse, robust debate and peaceful dissent. He lived his life by those principles, no matter the danger it put him in. This may have happened far from our shores, but the rising intolerance of opposing views affects us all. We cannot turn a blind eye to it. And Kimmy Badenoch says her thoughts are with Charlie's family, his wife Erica, and their children. You are listening to Times Radio, and of course President Trump is heading to the UK later this month. Times Radio is going to be following the state visit every step of the way. Callum MacDonald and Rosie Wright will be out on the streets reporting on the pomp and the protests, while our new political editor Anna Mikhailova assesses the political impact of the trip. You can stay right across Donald Trump's state visit later this month here on Times Radio.